Can I replicate Randy Rhoads' tone through a Kemper profiler rack? Well, in today's episode, we find out. So let's get rocking and play some Aussie. Hey guys, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, Nottingham with luxury shred machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Ben Keightley and today we're going to be hunting the tone of Randy Rhoads. I'm going to be using just the Kemper profiler and one guitar to try and replicate his iconic sound. The tone in question is the Mr. Crowley solo. We're going to be doing the main solo and the outro solo today, and maybe a few riffs from his discography. My axe of choice for today's episode is going to be a Gibson Custom Orange Widow. My personal favourite tone of Randy Rhoads is when he used his Alpine White Les Paul Custom going through a stack of Marshalls. But yeah, this is an absolutely stunning guitar. It's a classic kind of Les Paul Custom figured, so obviously a maple top, mahogany body, mahogany neck, ebony fingerboard, which is really important on the Les Paul Custom. We want that nice brightness. Obviously Grover tuners, good for tuning stability, and we've got the 490R, 498T humbucker set in this one, so we're going to be nice and high output. As I mentioned previously, we're just going to be using the Kemper profiler today. Luckily I've got this wall of Marshalls, so I'm used to what a Marshall sounds like, so that's what I'm going to be trying to replicate in the Kemper profiler rig. So first off, let's plug in the guitar and just get a bass tone and see what that sounds like. So I've got the Kemper all set up now, and obviously I've got my guitar in tune. We're going to be in standard for today, as that's the tuning of Mr. Crowley. I'm recording this as a DI, so this is just the straight through sound. So obviously we're not very close to the Randy sound just yet. As a bass amp, I'm going to use a vintage Marshall setting, kind of like a JMP. So I'm going to put that on now with my cabinet setting and just hear the raw tone from that. I'm just going to mess with the EQ slightly, so I'm going to bring back the mid just for a minute. So we need quite a lot of mid-range, I'd say, probably around 6. Good. It might sound a little honky for now, but you want to think the mid-range is where your guitar signal really comes to life. Randy Rhoads' tone is kind of like an old-fashioned heavy metal tone, so it's quite thin sounding, a little bit fizzy, but it does have that tight Marshall mid-range, and you have to think that this tone is going to be sitting in a mix, so you're going to have bass instruments that are going to be doing, dominating that frequency range. So we need to make sure we have a nice kind of thin enough sound, but that has enough body to work with reverb. So I'm going to turn that mid-range just a little bit down. I'm just going to reduce some of the bass and bring up the treble. And I'm going to bring this gain up to about halfway. Getting a little bit closer. Let me reduce some of this treble. Bring middle up. Let's go for... I'm going to go for 2.8 on the... Starting to get a bit martially now. That's a really nice crunch tone, very reminiscent of how a Marshall would sound when it's really oversaturated. What I like about the Kemper is it has that natural compression that a Marshall... The sound of that sounds incredible. So, I'm now going to add a tube screamer. Actually, first I'm going to add a compressor and just dial that in with a slight ratio. That might sound like it's reduced from the gain because it has, but it's making a little bit more of a level playing field for the notes. It's going to allow a little bit more sustain on the notes. So I'm going to now put a tube screamer on. Maybe a little bit more gain is just needed there. Let's hear. sounding nice. So I like that level playing field, and what I'll do is I'll write every single pedal I use on the video so you obviously know what I'm using. To finish the Randy sound, we need a nice chorus pedal. I don't know if he actually used chorus or not. I've not done too much research for this video. I'm just using my ear and what I can remember. But obviously, it's a double track sound that we're trying to replicate. All of the guitarists from Aussie seem to head for this kind of heavily modulated sound, just like Zakk Wylde. I think it originates in chorus sounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a vintage style chorus. On here it says vintage style, the rate's at 3.5, depth's at 5, crossover is 21.8 hertz, and it's 91 on the mix. And I think this is kind of, you know, replicating like a CE1 chorus from Boss. So let's just hear that natural. That's enough and subtle enough to sound like a double track guitar. You don't want the rate to be too high, because otherwise you'll get a sound like this. One wants that. So we want it to be quite low, maybe around the 3.4 range. Put the depth up a little bit just to make it sound a little bit more like a double track. I'm happy with that. I think that's sounding good. So that's without any reverb, bear in mind. So let's select like quite a decent hall reverb. Yeah, that's nice. So you got that's really nice. It's enough kind of to add to the sustain of the guitar, but it isn't too overbearing. And for the lead section, you definitely want a delay pedal. I'm going to select this in at 663 on the millisecond time, 19% feedback, and 29% mix. That's sounding good. I never look to tap tempo delays, I just kind of ballpark it because I just want to add to the texture of the music. So let's play that opening solo now and see how it sounds. Need a little bit more presence just to make it a slight more physical. It might take your head off a bit in the room, but in the mix this is going to cut through really nicely. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's hear how it sounds for rhythm stuff. So I'd say that is my finished tone. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did I get close or am I far away? But either way, I'm really happy with that tone. I think this goes to show, don't always look to replicate people's tones, but be inspired and try and make your own kind of version of the solos. Maybe I'm saying that to compensate for maybe not getting it perfect. But I do think the Kemper is a great profiler. And I also think it's just a great tool for all the effects and all the amps that you can play around with. I'm able to get a really heavy metal tone from this, but in a click of a button I could get a nice clean tone. They're really versatile. I'd really recommend trying out Kemper, a Quad Cortex, a Line 6 Helix. I use the Line 6 Helix all the time as well. This is my personal Kemper that I use a lot for gigs as well as teaching and stuff like that. But in combination with this Orange Widow, I'm really happy with how it came out. One other thing I'd like to note as well is how you play. So with metal music, you always want to make sure you're playing with a pick that is, well, it doesn't flex. You want it to be nice and stiff, with a fairly serrated edge. I mean, this one doesn't have a serrated edge, but you want it to have a nice grip anyway. And the point of that is so the pick doesn't flex, and all the energy that you do is going straight into the strings. Also, pick on an angle. If you look at my hand now, instead of picking flat to the strings, so I'm picking with the flat edge, I try to turn it so the string sees the side of the pick. And what this does is in turn create a more serrated sound, which sounds more metal. Instead of... When I do it on the flat edge, it just sounds like the note's coming straight away, but if I do it on the serration edge, or if I try to do the side of the pick, there's more friction and it sounds more... it's more shredding. So yeah, that's just a little top tip to sound more like Randy Rhoads. So let's hear this in the mix now and hear it with the backing track. So guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you've enjoyed. Make sure to leave your comments down below. Do you think I got close or do you think I was far off? Let me know in the comment section below. We do have this Widow up for sale on our website, so make sure to hit the link down below if you're interested. But thank you so much for watching today's video, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe so we can get bigger and better guitars on this channel. I really hope you've enjoyed today's Hunt for Tone, and let me know in the comment section below which artist I should do next. But thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow for another Squealing Pig Guitars video. But until then, keep rocking guys, see you soon.
Thank you.